Hi and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Diana and I'm connecting the dots between many different areas of knowledge such as herbalism, astrology, alchemy, psychology, the spiritual journey, naturopathy, and basically everything that helped me heal in the last 8 years. Today's video is going to be different. I wanted to make a video on generational healing, and this is coming. But today I felt the urge to talk about something else. Excuse my voice, I'm still sick. So I am at a stage of my life when a whole cycle of many years, almost 10 years, is ending. The last 8 years have been specifically brutal in many different aspects of my life. I'm currently ending the stage of my life in which I am the healer. I am no longer associated. I do not associate myself with the role of the healer. And it was a very long journey of releasing that role, getting out of these shoes. It was a hard journey. For many, many years, I believed that this is the only purpose for me to be alive. I was so deeply associated with the role of the healer that I was seeing my broken self in anybody else and everyone else, and I was trying to save their inner child. I was trying to teach them emotional intelligence, to share my knowledge with them, and the whole time I didn't realize how much work I was avoiding within myself by doing that. I was escaping my own depths, my own void by trying to help and heal others. The whole time I was needing myself. It was a process that I couldn't avoid at one point. Beginning to strip that role of the healer and the martyr, always doing things for others and never appreciated and never taken care of and never reciprocated. That role started rotting inside of me. I started realizing that I'm so much bigger than that. Mind you, in these 8 years of healing, I was healing so many deep attachments. I have died and rebirthed myself I don't know how many times. And this is why I want you to know that it's completely normal that you outgrow your current version with a very high speed at this moment. We are evolving very fast. The people that knew me 1 year ago don't know me anymore. The people that knew me 6 months ago don't know me anymore. The animal part of ourselves, that primal brain, which is also connected to the subconsciousness and survival, it's very hard to be reprogrammed. There are some things, some childhood wounding that we can never erase in this lifetime. We are meant to carry these wounds, but this is where the archetype of the wounded healer comes. We are not meant to be completely healed to be loved. We don't have to be completely healed to be living and be deserving of a good life. We don't have to be that perfect, enlightened Buddha version of ourselves in order to experience joy, in order to be there for people, in order to even teach people and share our knowledge with people. Because teaching people doesn't mean that you know it all and that you think you're the best, and you people often project that. So many people believe that when you tell them, when you share something with them, it's because you believe that they're inferior to you. And I have to be honest, I had moments in my life when I have caught myself that I see people as inferior because they didn't have that spiritual experience. And that's a very huge trap. This is something that I also want to talk about, because that's a very huge spiritual trap. To think that you're better than others because you have, not just because you know things, because this is a very superficial level of spiritual ego. Because that is, this is the spiritual ego of people that just begin this journey. You read some books, you read that, you do a couple of meditations, you go to yoga, or you apply some hermetic rules, and now you think that you know it all and you're so much better than others. Or you read about conspiracy theories and Anunnaki, and now you are one of the enlightened ones. That's the superficial level of spiritual ego. But the deeper level, the more dangerous part of the spiritual ego is when you have experience, when you have been through things, when you have seen things internally, when you have been given very deep signs, very deep dreams, very deep coincidences, not coincidences, synchronicities, messages, you have received information, and then that risk of you believing that you are so much better than others, or that you know better and that you are here to be someone, is very dangerous. It's very easy to slip. But one of the biggest traps in the spiritual community is also the idea of my truth is the highest truth. This is one of the reasons that I have avoided spiritual groups or communities. There is a lot of spiritual ego and a lot of darkness in spiritual communities. There is a lot of hidden darkness because a lot of people that begin to open to certain energies don't have enough protection. They don't know how to guard themselves. They don't know how to check their ego, and they have in this way they open doors for attachments with not light beings, entities that are very tricky. And these people might present themselves as spiritual teachers, gurus, guides, and people that are here to serve humanity. The people that I have seen in person or have felt through the screen, for example, that really have very powerful, authentic, divine energy, and they are channelers, original channelers, and they are pure channels. They don't talk about themselves in this way. They just share the knowledge. They just share the truth. They care about the truth. They care about God. They care about the divine. They care about humanity. They don't want to save the world because they know that the world is exactly as it's supposed to be. And this is another realization that I had to swallow because I used to be very idealistic, and I used to believe that we can change the world. No. The only way that we can change the world is by changing ourselves, and eventually, if we could, to share what we can and what we are allowed to share, because there is not all knowledge is for everyone. I am currently at a point of my life when I am completely leaving my old life behind. I'm moving countries. I had left my job. I finished my education. I'm separating from my family and starting over. And I don't know what is coming for me, but at this point I had surrendered to a point that I know that not knowing what comes next is the best option. Not knowing what comes next is the best for me. Not knowing what comes next means that my path is my real path. I am not meant to know the next steps. I am meant to trust. I am meant to surrender. I am meant to follow my inner guidance. And sometimes that inner guidance is silence. It's wait. It's be patient. The answer is coming, but it's not the right time. You need to trust. You need to allow yourself to be guided. You need to be humble enough. You need humility to allow yourself to be guided. Don't try to rush the process. Don't try to find the answers. Don't try to be all over the place. Trust, be silent, and follow. And at this point, I believe that after so many years of dying and coming back to life, and dying and coming back to life, and letting go of so many versions of myself, I am now finally ready to embrace death symbolically with so much more grace and so much more maturity. For the first time in my life, I feel like the girl in me, the maiden in me, is stepping up. And not stepping up, she's stepping back. She has finally been integrated and known, and now it's time for her to move away and to allow the woman in me to live the life that she deserves. There is nothing shameful in starting over. You can start over whenever it is meant in your life. Just because you're 30 or 40 or 50 doesn't mean anything. Yes, it's scary. When you try to look at it from society's perspective, it looks shameful, it looks scary, it looks like you are behind, but this is so ridiculous, because each and every one of us has their own unique timing. It might be drought, a desert for many years, and suddenly everything starts flourishing because your time has come. And I deeply believe in that. So yeah, this was for today. And in maybe next week, I will upload the first video about generational healing and breaking generational curses. In the next couple of days, I might upload a shorter video, which is going to be about a specific technique that I am also currently using to let go of specific patterns, and I want to share with you if you want to apply it. But I'm going to dive deeper into generational healing from another perspective. So thank you for being here with me. I hope that this video reaches the right people, and the messages reach the people that they're meant to reach. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you next time.